Hello and welcome to another episode of Brooklyn Nets Franchise here on NBA 2K25. In the last episode, we went through the offseason, including free agency and obviously the NBA draft. With our 12th pick in the first round, we ended up selecting Jaren Bamba, the 6'5 guard out of UCLA. He was not the only pick that we made. Right after that, we ended up selecting Shep Pickett out of Indiana with the 13th pick, Brian Knight with the 18th pick. We also picked Ulrich Svensson with pick 28, and with pick 27, we picked Stevie Pickett, Shep's brother from Indiana. We also retained most of the team, including Steven Adams, who did take a little bit of a regression. We still have Cam Thomas, still have Nick Claxton. This is what our rotation is going to look like to start the year. Bamba, Thomas, Pickett, Watford, and Claxton, as Clowney is still recovering from a torn ACL and will take Watford's spot in the starting lineup when he returns. Off the bench, we're going to have Brian Knight, Ben Simmons, Steven Adams, Zaire Williams, and Kevin Huerter. But since the last episode, some pretty big moves around the league have been made. The Clippers are looking to move Kawhi Leonard, as it is pretty much just him and a bunch of scrubs on the roster at the moment. We tried to get a deal done here, sending Kawhi to Phoenix, Beal to Chicago, and then Zach LaVine to the Clippers. Bradley Beal unfortunately does not waive his no-trade clause, and thus the deal ends up falling through. So then the Clippers go to Golden State. They said, you want Kawhi Leonard? The only asking price is Kuminga and Moses Moody. The deal ends up, after some modifications, looking like this. Cam Christie gets added in the deal on the Clippers side for Kyle Anderson and a second. And once we take a look at that, the deal ends up getting done. So Kawhi is now a Golden State Warrior, joins Curry and Brandon Ingram and others, but that's not all. Another relatively big deal gets done here. We've got Kyle Kuzma from the Wizards going to the Cavs. They're breaking up the Jared Allen, Evan Mobley duo. They think Mobley is going to be better at center, possibly. They're also just trying to shake things up. They end up, from the Cavs side, giving up Jared Allen, Dean Wade, and 2 seconds for both Kuzma and Carter to kind of round out their roster. The Wizards end up getting Cole Anthony in a second in this deal, and the Magic end up giving up Cole Anthony and Wendell Carter for Jared Allen, Dean Wade, and a second. Now that this trade has gone through, we're going to take a look just really quickly at the rosters of these teams. We'll start with the Wizards. It's obviously an interesting team with now Kawhi, Ingram, and Curry as sort of a big three. Draymond is still here. He's obviously getting up there in age. Still got Brandon Podziemski, Mr. Untouchable himself. They've got a good bench, honestly, a good group of rotation players. And, it's interesting. Curry's still a 94 overall at 37, and he's still on a 2-year deal, which lines up perfectly with Kawhi's remaining contract. Obviously, Kawhi's got his injury history, but if he can stay healthy, this team is going to be special. I did give Ingram 33. Gonna take a look, because obviously normally he wears 14. I think he'd probably wear number 4, so I'm gonna change that before the start of the season, just because it makes more sense from him to go from 14 to 4 than 14 to 33. Looking at the Wizards side of things, they were definitely looking to get off Kuzma and keep Sarr at the power forward position. They obviously already have Jonas Valanciunas, so they don't really need Kuzma. He's kind of getting in the way of the development of Sarr. And then they've got Coulibaly, Sadiq Bey, Kispert, Poole, and now Cole Anthony for their 6-man. Just a nice roster rounding out type of a move for them. As for the Magic, they get a true center, a great rim protector, something that this defensive team needs. I'm not exactly sure what their rotation is going to be. Right now it's looking like it's going to be Suggs, KCP, and then Wagner, Boncaro, and Allen. We'll see how they do that around the year. Obviously, Russell Frazier was in the starting lineup projected, the 6'5 guard out of Iowa. We tried to trade up for him, but obviously they stuck him from us at 9. It's definitely unfortunate that the Magic took him because, I mean, look at him, 78 overall, A+ potential, a really, really good player and someone that we absolutely would have loved to have had on our roster. Obviously, we end up with Jaren Bamba, and only time will tell how that move works out. As for the Clippers, now they get rid of their only other real star player. It was kind of just Kawhi and friends. Now they've got Moses Moody on the roster. They've got Kuminga. You look at the actual roster itself, they've still got Bones Highland, Isaiah Joe now, but it's really not a deep team. And last but not least, we're going to look at the Cleveland Cavaliers and how this trade impacts them. Their backcourt is pretty set already with Garland and Mitchell. Porter will be the backup there. They also have a lot of shooting guard depth with Okoro and Strus being able to play those positions, as well as Tyson as a potential rotation guy. Now they have Kuzma, who may come off the bench. It just kind of gives them some flexibility. Depending on what they see and like from Carter Jr. and Capella, they can run small. It just gives them a lot more versatility as a team, and that's why I think that trade really benefits everybody. But now that we've got all of that out of the way, all of the housekeeping, we're going to get right into it. We've got our first game of the year here against the Chicago Bulls. Last year, they were 42-40, slightly above 500. Pretty much the NBA version of purgatory, stuck in the middle, not going to tank. And it's going to be interesting to see how Zach LaVine does, knowing that they tried to trade him in the offseason. More likely than not, at this point, he's probably just going to ride out his career in Chicago. He does have a player option at the end of this year, so we'll see what ends up happening with that. It'll be interesting to see second-year player Manas Buzelis in the starting lineup, as he did not start or really play any minutes for them all of last year. They're definitely prioritizing development of their youth, which is something that we're going to be doing as well. This is a team that we're trying to rebuild against and hopefully outdo. I did lie about Buzelis in the starting lineup. Apparently Aaron Wiggins is going to be starting in that spot, but we will see plenty of Buzelis. And we're both going to be wearing our city jerseys. We'll do ours with the black accessories. And here we are at tip-off. Nikola Vucevic and Nick Claxton at it, and Chicago wins the tip, and we are underway. Season number 2. What do we got for us? Kobe White at the top, dumps down to Vucevic. Claxton on him, trying to fight his way inside. Claxton bodying him up pretty well, forces a tough shot, and the miss. Defense is going to be one of the main priorities. It's going to be how we're going to, eventually win games. That's a horrible turnover. I was trying to go to Thomas. LaVine, open 3, is good. Bamba gets the screen from Watford. Drives inside, gets fouled, and one. Jaren Bamba getting his career off to a hot start and gets the bucket with the foul. And the free throw is up and missed, so he cannot complete the three-point play. They're out and running now. LaVine finds Wiggins, who cuts and slams it home. Bamba's going to do a lot of the initiation for us, especially, given the starting point guard role and all. We're going to have him go up, and he cannot connect with Claxton. Kobe White now driving inside and draws the foul from Claxton. Kobe White at the line makes the first. Second is up for Kobe White, and he drills that one too. We're going to get it to Cam, see if he can run the pick and roll any better. We're going to dump it inside, and Claxton cannot hit the layup over LaVine. Not a great start for us on offense, and not a great start on defense either, as we get in the passing lane, and it still results in a slam. Bamba around the Watford screen. They're going to leave Claxton wide open in the corner, and for good reason, although look who's on the glass, but Bamba cannot finish it home. Chet Pickett has Wiggins drive right by him. Watford called for the block and won. I mean, just a horrible start. They're going to miss the free throw, which is nice, and they're going to leave Cam and then actually leave Watford for the slam on the break. Finds him nicely. Throws it right down on Patrick Williams' head. Bamba guarding White. They get a down screen for Wiggins, who gets absolutely bodied. Claxton all over it. And we're going to find Cam Thomas for 3. And just like that, it's a 4-point game. We respond, couple good possessions on defense, and capitalize on the other end. LaVine directing traffic up top. They find White. On the side, Vucevic comes to set the pick. Bamba gets around it perfectly, contests the shot beautifully, and we have another stop. Cam Thomas driving by Levine, puts up an awkward shot, and it won't go. White now with Bamba on him again. Goes inside for Vucevic and swings it back out. Ball swings around back to the top. And Bamba again having to guard White, but this time White takes it to the bucket and scores. Thomas and Watford running that pick and roll. And they're going to leave Shep Pickett wide open in the corner, which just barely rims out. Levine on the break, trying to do something fancy and puts it up and in. We're calling our first time out of the game. Not going to make any substitutions yet, but we just need to get ourselves right. Tries to find Pickett, who's going to try and force it up, and that won't go either. Oh, man, Levine just gets that wide open. Doesn't come back to bite us, though. We're going to get it up ahead to Pickett, who's got the space, and the slam! Shep Pickett definitely has the most potential out of all the guys we've drafted. It's about, reaching that ceiling for him, obviously, as Bamba allows a back cut by White, and they get the two right back. We're going to try Bamba and the Claxton pick and roll again, and Bamba tries to force it up, can't, and, Cam Thomas isn't going to hit the three either. Now Thomas is guarding White at the top. He's trying to drive on him. Thomas holding his own. He backs it out. They go inside with Jaren Bamba guarding Vucevic, and he pretty easily handles that. Bamba and Watford pick and roll. They're going to leave Pickett in the corner for three. Levine puts up the three, and that's good. Pickett around a Claxton screen. Doesn't want to force anything. We get it to Watford. That three is no good. They go up ahead on the break. Williams takes a fader. That no good. We're going to give it to Pickett. Shot clock winding down. Fader is not going to go. Believe it or not, Shep Pickett actually has a pretty nasty fadeaway. I warmed up for once as Levine takes another three. This one's no good. But as I was saying, I actually warmed up today, and you probably won't be able to tell, but I was hitting a lot of those Pickett faders in practice. And now Pickett is going to find Thomas for three. Huge that we can get the three-point shot to fall as Levine tries to answer and does. Whatever you can do, I can do better. That's the Bulls' motto today. And we're going to throw this one up, and Claxton gets the green release. Nice slip underneath, and even though they try to rotate over with Wiggins, Claxton able to go up and slam it home. Like I said, it's all about the defense. We got to get stops. As I say that, we get a fake steal, but we end up coming away with it there. No points, no harm, no foul. We're going to get it to Pickett again. And he finds Bamba open for three, but he cannot get it to go. Bamba now tasked with guarding Levine. No easy one, but he pokes the ball away. And he's up a court all alone. Funky layup, but it's good. Jaren Bamba doing exactly what we drafted him for. 4, 4, and 3, just stuffing the stat sheet here in the first. And now Levine absolutely cooked Cam Thomas. Not sure why he didn't go for it. Bamba fighting around a screen. And White forces it up, and it's no good. We're going to try the Thomas fadeaway, and that's no good as well. They go inside, and Levine is able to lay it up and in despite an okay contest from Pickett. We get it up ahead to Pickett. He's got Levine on him. That feels like a mismatch, and it should have been, but unfortunately, it was not. And Bamba makes another great play on defense. Up ahead to Claxton, and he throws it down. 4, 4, and 4 for Bamba. That's a good sign, plus obviously some steals and blocks, and not going to be happening on that one. And that release is green. I told you that Pickett midi is nice, and Chicago needs a timeout. Only starters on the floor are going to be Bamba and Pickett. Everybody else comes in. We've got Adams, Williams, and Brian Knight off the bench. Speaking of Brian Knight, he gets lost on the screen. They get it late to Dosunmu, who's going to take this screen around Jalen Smith, drive inside, and throw it down. Brian Knight is pretty pure scorer, and he's not exactly known for the defensive side of things. We don't have a lot of time here, And Knight is going to have to force up something crazy. Almost falls, but not quite. Bulls reset off the break. Buzelis at the top holds it, gets the screen, steps it back, gets to his spot, but he cannot get it to go. Knight and Williams running the pick and roll, and Knight is able to knife it all the way to the bucket for 2. Despite going down double digits early, we are still clawing our way back into this game. Right now it is a 6-point lead for Chicago. They are holding for the final shot. Buzelis letting the clock tick down. Gets the screen. Goes back to his spot. Another deep 3. And that's no good. 31-25 at the end of the first quarter. Interesting start to the new year, but we love to see our impact that we're already seeing from our young guys. And here we are now, start of the second quarter. We've got a full bench lineup in here. Simmons, the point guard, with Adams. We are going to feed him, by the way. They're going to leave Zaire wide open for 3, but he is not going to be able to cash in. We're going to get it back to Adams, guarded by Williams. It's not a full mismatch, and Adams eventually gets his own rebound and lays it up and in. What a funny little possession there. As I was saying about the substitutions, we bring in Herter for Pickett and Simmons for Bamba. Everybody else that was out there is still out there. Williams guarding Williams, and Adams comes to block it underneath, and Adam lays it in, and it's now a 2-point game. You can already see the ball movement affecting these possessions. You gotta love it if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan. DeSumo around another screen from Williams. Goes inside, and what a play. He really did a great job sealing the defender off from the basket there, and we're going to get our guy open. Zaire for 3! Now a 1-point game, probably the closest it's been since Chicago scored for the first time. Goes up to DeSumo at the top, guarded by Herter. Takes the screen. Herter does his best to get around it. DeSumo cuts, finds Williams open, and he buries it. They answer with a 3 right back. Unfortunate, but we're just going to have to keep playing the game. Simmons goes all the way to the cup and scores and gives him a nice flex on the way down. Back to a competitive 2-point lead here. DeSumo cannot get it to go. That's actually not DeSumo. That's Stewart. Going to reset. Simmons and Adams at the top. Simmons gets fouled and 1! Simmons not only ties the game, but greens the free throw, and we've got a lead, folks. Great start to this second quarter. Got right back into the game. Simmons now on DeSumo, and he lays it up and gets the lead right back. We're going to have Knight handle it this possession. I like his dribble moves. They're going to leave Steven Adams wide open in the corner for 3, which is a pretty good idea. We're going to have him actually set the pick and roll this time, and they're going to leave Knight open, although he can't get it, but Adams gets onto the glass and draws the foul. The first from Adams is in. Adams' second free throw rattles in as well, despite the horrible release. Carter now handling for Chicago as we get the lead, and they get it right back, feeding Buzelis inside. Another Simmons-Adams pick and roll, and Simmons whips it around and throws it down. What an animation there. Goes right around and underneath, up and in. Playing leapfrog with the lead here. Very back and forth game. Currently have the 1-point lead, and Carter handles at the top. He wants it inside to Buzelis. Knight doing his best, but Buzelis is able to lay it up and in and take the lead right back. Simmons is going to get the screen here, but this time it's going to be from Williams, and they're going to generate an open shot for Knight, but he can't get it to go. Simmons picking up Carter on the break. Probably gave him a little bit too much space there. He doesn't shoot the 3. Instead, they hand off to DeSumo, back to Buzelis, and then back to DeSumo. Gets him a running start, and he gets another layup. And they're going to reach on it, and we still just cannot get Brian Knight going. DeSumo handles at the top. They find Buzelis wide open for 3, but it doesn't go. Knight gets him in the air and gets the dunk. They know he's a shooter. That's what he's supposed to do. Just because the shot's falling doesn't mean they won't respect it. And clearly he gets him wide up in the air. DeSumo comes around that, tries to make something happen. It doesn't go. We're going to reset. Simmons around this screen, goes inside and gets swatted. I believe Jalen Smith with the denial. And what a screen from him. It doesn't end up leading to the three. Not a lot of time here. Gonna have to create, and Knight cannot get the shot to go. Carter puts up the three, and it's in. That's going to be our second timeout. We're going to get the subs back in. We bring back in all of the starters. They're probably just going to close the quarter. We're going to get that to Thomas, who's guarded by Levine. Spins off, but he cannot get the layup to fall. Bamba picks up Levine. They hand off a couple of times. Get some interesting mismatches that they have to exploit, and Kobe White ends up taking the corner three. We're going to call an ISO. Pickett has their center on him, and they know it is a problem. They tried to send help, but we end up shooting the midi. Thomas tries to fall down. They end up giving it back to Wiggins after he gives it up, and we foul. First free throw is up and good. Aaron Wiggins' second free throw is in as well. Bamba now in the corner. Got all the space in the world, and one! Well, Jaren Bamba, we know what he can do, attacking the basket better than anybody, and he can't hit his free throws after the and one on either time. We've got the break now, which they capitalize and get two off of our missed free throw. Obviously, you don't love that, but you do love Jaren Bamba as a player, and he finds Watford, who buries the three. Back to a three-point game. I said it. We're staying in it. We're doing a great job. And so's Jaren Bamba leading the way, just doing everything. Levine now, Thomas guarding him. They like to attack Thomas usually. Levine trying to get open. Drives inside, but defense was played very well this time. Bamba's going to find it to Pickett, who's going to try and post up Wiggins. Fade away, and it's short. And Levine on the break gets a wide open three and buries it. Now to the corner. Bamba, three, no good. Now Williams at the top swings to Levine, trying to make a move on Thomas, and does. But Levine is no stout defender himself. We're going to get right around him and float that up and in with Cam Thomas. Good play by him. Always love when Cam Thomas gets aggressive on the drives. And now we've got Thomas guarding White with Bamba on Levine. Should hopefully, well, as I say that, Bamba gives up a wide open three, and Levine is on a heater. We've got the mismatch now. See if they double. They're not gonna, and Claxton's gonna have to put something up, but he gets it to go. Looking to try and get Levine open, ends up getting White open as Thomas just leaves him alone. Bamba getting the Claxton screen. He slips it inside, and Claxton throws it down. They get it to Levine. Bamba on him. Gets the screen from Vucevic. Swings it back the other way. Puts up another three. This one is off. And he goes right around him. Finds Thomas. Corner, but the three won't go. Wiggins left very alone. Now picked up by Watford. They go inside, but Vucevic cannot get it to go. They get it to Thomas, makes a move on White, and throws it down. White now pops out to Williams, and his three is good. Cam Thomas gets open, doesn't trust it. We're going to have Pickett trying to do something, getting around Wiggins, and he leaves it short at the cup. Now Chicago's got one more chance, and they're already holding an 8-point lead. We've got to remain strong here. Everything is fine. We're going to have Pickett at the horn, not even close, and that's going to bring us to the halftime. 64-56 the score. Looking at the box score at halftime, Cam Thomas doing Cam Thomas things, leading us in scoring, but it's been a balanced attack. We've given a lot of guys a lot of shots, tried to force feed it to Pickett, no doubt, but Jaren Bamba doing Jaren Bamba things, gotta love it. Stealing a block, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 6 points, all at the half. We need the rookies to step it up. Unfortunately, that's just the amount of pressure that's on them already. They are, the future of this team. Pickett, Knight, not having efficient starts, not even Bamba, really. I do like our defensive effort. We've missed guys open on threes a couple of times. It's killed us, but for the most part, I feel like this team is a way more competitive team defensively. Unfortunately, we have given up 21 points to Zach LaVine. He's 8 of 13 shooting, 5 of 8 from 3. I mean, he's absolutely torching us. He's on pace for a really efficient 40. He's not really playmaking. And, yeah, we got to make life harder for him. Got to attack mismatches better. And just got to, try and reduce the turnovers, which I think we've already done a really good job of. Starters still out here at the start of the third quarter. And we're going to run this Watford-Bamba pick and roll. They leave Claxton open, and I got to stop taking those. I greened one in freestyle, and now I'm convinced that I can do it in a real game. But, yeah, it's not happening, so I just got to chill out. Levine gets to his spot again, but this time it's no good. And Thomas on the break gets around him and lays it in. What a play from him. Patrick Williams drives on Watford, pulls it up, and puts it in. Bamba around another screen, trying to make moves on White, drives inside and lays it in again. Jaron Bamba is a beast in the paint. We are going to have to attack with him a lot more. Back to a 6-point game. Levine drives right by Bamba and throws it down. Just posters Nick Claxton. Brutal play there, and now we're going to get those 2 points, hopefully right back. Foul on Levine, and Thomas will be shooting 2 at the line. Spoke a little prematurely there, and the first free throw for Thomas is good. Second free throw for Thomas is in, and we do get the 2 back at the line. White is not taking advantage of the Thomas mismatch as well, and yeah, I like Bamba a lot, and as I say that, Levine draws a foul. Got to make him work for it inside, and he ends up missing a free throw. Second free throw is up and in for Levine. It's now 69-62. Bamba, Claxton pick and roll at the top, and Williams comes over, makes a great deflection. We're going to reset with 9 seconds. Pickett getting the screen and the mid-range, but he cannot hit the shot. They've got the mismatch inside, Bamba guarding Vucevic, but this time Bamba holds his own. Oh, man, what a move. And Watford lays it all the way in. Sick move by Trenton Watford there to get by Vucevic, and now it's a 5-point game. Levine looking for the screen, and Bamba picks his pockets. Bamba around another screen, inside, slams it down. Jaron Bamba is the X factor of this game, and he is playing out of his mind. And White driving, finally attacking the Thomas mismatch, and draws the foul from Claxton. That's his third. First free throw for White is up and in, and the substitutions come in. Pretty much everybody but Pickett comes off of the floor, and White gets both at the line to go. Same rotation as last time. We had Williams, Simmons, and Adams coming in, although they do leave him open. Knight driving on Williams, and the layup won't go. Oh, wow. Great play by Ben Simmons. Just phenomenal. He's out on the break and running, and nobody's going to catch him as he windmills that up and in. We're going to leave that wide open on the 3, right as I was talking about defense, but they luckily do miss. We're going to get it up ahead. Knight finds Pickett on the drive. He lays it up and in. It's now a 1-point game. Got to attack the basket, and that's what we've been doing. It's been working out for us. Levine now guarded by Knight. This is a different matchup, and he physical just dominates inside and puts him up and in. Knight now running the pick and roll with Williams. Finds Zaire, but he cannot get the 3 to go. And Knight, although he boxed out Levine, cannot get the rebound. Oh, we should have had something there, and instead it's a 3. I mean, did he just... Oh, my God. Steven Adams broke his wrist? So Steven Adams is hurt. That's not good. Simmons is going to attack this matchup with Cody White. Kobe White plays great defense. Now a 6-point game. Really, really bad rotations here. Simmons guarding the center is not what you want. And Vucevic actually misses, so thank God. And Knight makes a move on Levine and throws it down on the break. Brian Knight finally getting into his groove here. The shot's not falling. Kind of what we drafted him to do, but he's finding other ways to impact the game. Leads at 4. Levine at the top. Knight guarding him. Goes underneath the screen, goes inside, and Williams slams it down. Pickett could not cover. Knight and Pickett running the pick and roll. And we're just going to turn it over because I thought that Pickett was triangle, not square. And Vucevic just slams it down. Knight and Claxton running the pick and roll. And Knight taking it to the bucket and draws the foul. Knight's first free throws of the game are up and in. Second free throw for Knight is up and in as well. Claxton subbed in for Adams, but we made a couple rotations. Now Sharp is in, replacing Claxton, and we bring in Kevin Huerter to replace Pickett. And wow, Kobe White just makes an amazing move by Ben Simmons, and yeah, the lead is now back up to 8. Gonna have Knight get the screen from Sharp here, and he's gonna drive inside, and he misses, but Sharp is able to get the board and the putback. Got to get stops. That's how we get back into this game. Unfortunately, last couple possessions have been rough with Simmons guarding White. This time it works out for us, and we are out and running. Knight trying to get by Buzelis. For the moment does. He's going to fade away, and it just will not go. Trying to get Knight the ball in some spots that would be favorable for him. Dosunmu attacking this mismatch. Finds Williams for 3. And Zaire with a nice under. Slams it home on the break. Gets right by Buzelis and swings around the basket. Now leads down to 4. Got some stop and scores. Got to keep it up, though. Williams attacking on Williams. They go to the corner for Buzelis. Knight guarding him. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do. Walling it off pretty well, I'd say. Clock's ticking. Buzelis 3 is in. That's 23 seconds of great defense from us, but unfortunately they just make the right play, and now they play great rotational defense. Thought we had something there with Knight, and now Kobe White is trying to make a play on Simmons. Simmons playing it well, and we get the stop. Gonna hold it here, get the screen from Williams. And he's going to put up another shot and another miss. Buzelis now guarded by Williams. They give it to Dosunmu, who attacks Huerter and takes it all the way inside for 2. With the lead up to 9, it's pretty important that we get some scores here, and we're at least going to draw 2 at the line and get the foul on Williams. And Zaire is shooting the free throws. He misses the first. Second is up and in. Now the lead's at 8. Chicago's had a pretty consistent single-digit lead all game. I think their highest lead was into like 10 or 11. And we got to keep it from blowing out here. That's a great defensive play there. Up ahead, Simmons needs to find Zaire sooner. That's just a really rough situation there. They're going to leave Zaire open for 3, but he just cannot hit it. Our three-point shooting has absolutely been killing us, as well as our transition defense, although it does not, well, yeah, no, it does not come back to bite us there. They're going to leave Kevin Huerter open, and then eventually Sharp, who goes up and lays it in. Leads back to 6. Got to stay with it. Keep playing defense and keep attacking the basket. Just trust the process. Good things will happen. Dosunmu with some crafty moves on Huerter. Trying to grab another screen. We fight over it. And then Dosunmu tries to cut back. He's really ball hogging. And they finally get it to White, who is going to have to force something up here. He doesn't have a lot of time, and it does not go. Simmons now around this. And he walks out of bounds. Awesome. Still a 6-point game. Got to get some stops, though. Keep playing good D. And as I say that, Simmons allows a line drive to the basket. We push it up ahead, try and answer. Don't love that there, but Huerter gets open. Can't hit the midi. Dosunmu making the move on Williams. Goes inside to Roddy. Back out to Smith. Sharp guarding him. 5, 4, 2, 1. Oh, my God. That about sums up this game. Great defense for 20-something seconds, and then just right at the end, it all comes crashing down. Knight is going to have to get something up here. It's not good, and we go into the fourth down 10. Jalen Smith bringing it up to start the fourth quarter for Chicago, and we are now back underway. Buzelis throws up the lob, and he misses it. Ben Simmons now around a screen, dumps it off for Sharp. Layup, no good. Buzelis pushing on the break, finds Stewart for 3, and he buries it. We had Pickett for a moment there, and we're going to try and force it inside with him. No go. Try the fader, and that won't work either. Desumu drives inside on the break. 2 guys come and clobber him. Claxton with his 4th foul of the game. Desumu's first free throw is up and in, and the second is in as well. Bamba on pace for a triple-double here, especially if he, can get some assists. That's going to be 1 to the corner for Watford for 3. Gets the lead down to 12. We're going to have an insane fourth quarter scoring the ball if we want even a slimmer of a chance here. We're also going to have to play way better defense than that and hold Desumu to a lot tougher looks. We're going to have him fade away, and that's no good. And Claxton can't even get the rebound despite having the positioning. And Smith now doesn't want the 3, goes inside, attacks Watford, takes it all the way and lays it in, leads now at 16. Everything's going through Cam Thomas from here on out, whether it works or not, and he's going to slam it home. Part of the point of getting Bamba was to make it so that Thomas doesn't have to be the primary ball handler all the time, but you forget how good he is in that role. Generates a lot of shots for himself and others. Now Buzelis operating, and that pass is awry. Pickett on the break, gets swatted, and they recover immediately. Not sure what he's going to do at the top. Clock's ticking down. He still has the ball. Looks like he's just going to force up the shot, and it's just barely off. Is that going to be a backcourt? Are you serious? All right, lead still at 14. We got to keep making progress here. Got to keep getting stops. We're playing good defense, but they're burning clock. And now Levine's checked back into the game, and he draws another foul. That's Claxton's 5th. And the first free throw is no good. Second free throw for Levine is in. We're going to have Bamba on this possession start the ball because he's going to get downhill and slam it home. Bamba guarding Levine now. 13-point lead. Still making progress, but we got to keep pushing. We're making it hard for Levine. He's got to do a lot at the top. He gets downhill, and that one is no good. And Thomas going to have to fade it away, and it's green. Told you there's a reason I'm taking those type of shots. I know they're tough, but when they go in, it makes it look a lot better. Thomas now trying to guard Desumu, and he puts it right up and in. I mean, tough bucket after tough bucket for Chicago. At a certain point, you just got to have the hat off to him. And now we're going to get downhill with Bamba, and he lays it in again. Now an 11-point game. We're scoring. We're doing what we need to do. We just got to keep getting stops. That's the main name of the game here. Levine now running around and slams it down. Lead back up to 13. Bamba at the top. Going to go around him. They leave Claxton in the corner, but it's a fake, and Watford buries another. Lead now down to 10. We are clawing our way back. We're going to make this one interesting. We left Levine wide open, but we get away with it. Buzelis rejects the screen, goes around the other way, and that's no good. Cam's got Jalen Smith on him. You know damn well that we are ISOing this. And they actually play really good defense on him, which is embarrassing. And Bamba is going to have to try and force something up here. It's actually going to be Cam Thomas. Puts up a 3. Just barely does not go. Bit of a wasted possession there. Bamba now guarding Desumu. Aldama at the top finds Buzelis, who's attacking Cam Thomas. Claxton fouls out of the game. Buzelis drawing the foul. 6th foul. Misses the free throw. At least some sort of consolation prize there. But yeah, we're now down 11, and our starting center is not going to be able to be on the court for the rest of the game. Levine gets the quick rest, but he's back into the game, slides it inside, and Sharp gets eaten alive. Thomas going to get the Sharp screen, drives right by him, and throws it down again. White now driving right by Thomas, feeds to Levine, and then they get a wide open 3 for Williams, who buries it. That's probably the dagger, unfortunately. We're obviously going to keep trying, but 14-point lead under 5 minutes to go is not exactly the easiest thing. But Bamba's going to try, and he slams it home again. Just a reverse slam poster, and Bamba having one of the best rookie debuts that I remember. Leads now at 12. Vucevic drives inside, tries to put it up. That's no good. We get it to Bamba. He drives on White. He's going to have to put up a tough bucket, and he can't force it up and in. Kobe White now on the break, puts up the midi, and it's money. Who drives and can't get it to go, but does get his own at least. And Sharp gets called for the 3 in the key. Awesome. It would take about a miracle to pull this one out, but I would say we saw a lot of what we wanted to see, and we're not really expecting this team to compete for a championship or anything. You know, you just want to have close games, and unfortunately this one's getting out of hand at the end. Thomas makes the move on Levine, dumps it inside, and Watford slams it in for the and one. Watford, free throw is money, leads back down to 13. Probably too little too late. We are pressing full court, good defensive rotation there, and we force a 3, but it goes in, leads up to 16. If there wasn't a dagger before this, that definitely is. And Vucevic just overcommits on that. We're going to get an easy dish inside to Sharp. Thomas at the top finds Watford, guarded by Levine. Drives right by him. They find Thomas. His 3 is no good. Another offensive rebound. Pickett ISO's at the top on White. Sees the mismatch. Does not finish the layup. Rough debut for him. Definitely not what you wanted for the start to his season. Levine now, Bamba on him, playing as good defense as you can, and Wiggins now looks to find him. Bamba recovers the tipped pass, and we just give it right back. It's okay. This one is over. It's been a fun game, though. I enjoyed the flashes from guys like Bamba and Thomas. Bamba with Levine on him, drives by, tries to force it up and in, but they get the foul. Free throw is up and green for Bamba. Already got a double-double with 17 points to go with 7 rebounds. And make it 18 as that free throw is up and good as well. They're just going to dribble out the clock at this point, presumably. Or not. They're going for the throat. Zach LaVine just ended Cam Thomas's life. Oh my God, he's ruthless. We are not going to forget this. Zach LaVine is an enemy for life on this channel. I don't care what 2K we're playing. They end up leaving him wide open. Watford gets another corner 3, and that puts 19 on the board. Great showing from Trendon Watford. He's done exactly what we needed him to do. Unfortunately, others just did not step up the way we were hoping, but, you know, you can't be mad at Watford. Vucevic inside gets another layup, and that is fortunately going to be the end of this one. We're going to have Sharp dribble it out, and the seconds have ticked down. 123-109 the final. Hard-fought victory for Chicago. They just had the three-point rolling. It felt like we just couldn't stop them. Every tough bucket that they hit just put us in a deeper and deeper hole as the game went along. We made a couple of mistakes. I don't feel like the turnovers were really that bad. We'll see all the stats at the end, but you know who the player of the game is. Zach LaVine just absolutely bodied us. Possession after possession, inside game, outside game, didn't matter. I mean, he just was on one tonight. We'll look at our stats first. Cam Thomas leads the team in scoring, tied for the most shots, but he was very efficient. You know, good 50% from the field. 2 of 6 from 3 is not bad. 5 assists, no turnovers. 2 for 2 from the line, and no fouls. I feel pretty good about Cam Thomas's performance today. Trendon Watford did absolutely incredible. 7 of 9, 4 of 5 from 3, 19 points. That's really all you can ask for from him. Although Bamba was 0 for 2 on his 2 3-point attempts, he had 18 points on 8 of 14 shooting, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Obviously, you want to see improvement on the 4 turnovers, but he was so obviously a positive today, especially 3 of those rebounds being offensive. Clear why we drafted him and what he's going to bring to the table. Rough game for Shep Pickett, 9 points on 4 of 16 shooting. Pretty ugly display there. He did hit a 3, had a couple of good shots, but, his touch around the rim is, pretty unpolished. He had that one midi, tried to force a lot with him. We'll try and find more, in the flow of the game in the games to come. I don't think anything that he took was unreasonable, though. It's not like, that he was jacking shots that you just don't think he can make. A lot of them just weren't the right shot at that time, just trying to get a guy going type of deal. Other news, Ben Simmons and Claxton did good. Brian Knight, same type of deal. Rough shooting from the rookie, 8 points on 14 shots, 3 of 14 shooting. Yikes. Hopefully Steven Adams ends up being okay, because that's pretty scary. That injury just goes down. He probably would have played closer to 23, 24 minutes, but at the end of the day, these are the rotations. I feel pretty good about it, like what we got from Cam Thomas today. Now looking at the Bulls, obviously Levine went crazy, but if you look at the second half, he was contained. We didn't allow him to get the ball too much. He did play, a quarter and a half almost, so it's not like he wasn't out there on the floor. He was dishing it. We were making him make plays. Obviously, the final stats show that he cooked us, and he did. He had a great game, but a lot of that damage was done in the first half where the game was still winnable. A lot of the issues were the execution down the stretch. Kobe White torched us. Williams hit every big shot. We tried to leave off of him, and, there was no doing. They didn't have any, 3 of 13, 4 of 16 shooters on their team, and ultimately that's the difference in this one. I mean, when you give up 50% on three-pointers, you're not going to win that game, especially not shooting pedestrian, 46, 33, and 79 from the line. They made more of every basket. They shot a better percentage from both the field and from three. Didn't really block us or steal us a ton, again, contained with 8 turnovers, but they only had 5, and 14 points come off of our 8 turnovers, which actually ends up being the difference in the game. We had 17 dunks to their 9, which is pretty cool, and we won the offensive rebound battle by 10, the overall rebound battle by 8. We just didn't move the ball enough, but at the same time, I felt like the ball movement was pretty good for a bunch of rookies being added into the rotation. I feel very good about this game, despite the end result. Now that one is in the books, we're going to get through the rest of the first 2 weeks of the season. We are going to sim to the beginning of November. We win back-to-back games against the Raptors. Then we lose a game to Cleveland. And once again, we're going to win against Phoenix and against Toronto again. This is a trade between the Knicks and the Bulls. They want to swap Jalen Smith and Mitchell Robinson. I'm just going to say no. I don't see any reason why the Knicks would want Jalen Smith. I think Mitch does a lot for them. So we start the year 4-2. Come second game of the year, win against the Raptors. Pretty decent showing for all of their players, but Brian Knight, wow, what a game from him. Not a great Thomas game. Another really bad Pickett game. That is rough. 4 of 13. Yeah, he's having a rough start to the year, but Brian Knight, just an absolute sharpshooter. 6 of 9 from 3, 10 of 16 from the field. Another good game from Watford. Bamba doing it all. Not an efficient game from him, but Zaire picks up the slack, and you win a slugfest against the Raptors. On the back-to-back, we end up blowing them out. Rebound game for Cam Thomas, 33 points on 16 shots. Brian Knight, another killer game, 27 points. This time 6 of 15 shooting, so not super efficient, but he got to the line 14 times. I mean, does that say 62 free throw attempts? How many fouls did they have? Oh my gosh. They had 35 fouls as a team. Pirtle fouled out. Grady Dick fouled out. Olenek had 5, Strother had 4. I mean, I don't know about you guys. 35 feels like a lot of fouls for a team to have at the end of a game. But yeah, this one wasn't even close. Wow, that's just a bizarre game. But yeah, great showing from these guys. Sharp was perfect from the field. Missed 1 free throw. Very, very fun to see us dominating these type of games. Another good game from Bamba. I don't know. Very well-rounded performance from the team, though. Nobody's really hogging it, except for the players who are having a good night. definitely want to see better numbers from Pickett to start the year. Right now he's averaging 10 points per game. I like the assist numbers. 4 assists, don't get me wrong, that's great. Under 2 turnovers a game. The shooting efficiency has to be better. It just does. Then we move on to this blowout loss to Cleveland and their new look roster. Kuzma fitting in perfectly, as well as Carter Jr. and Capella dominating both the interior and the boards. Quick, efficient 30 for Donovan Mitchell, 7 free throws, 17 shots. Gotta love that for him. Obviously, we don't love it, and Mobley killed us as well. I mean, Brian Knight, what a player, man. He's averaging 23 as our 6th man. Not a lot more than a scorer for us, but he fills the Cam Thomas role. I mean, he's so efficient with it, and it kind of allows Cam Thomas to do a lot of those same things, a lot of attention taken off of him. Obviously not as efficient with the 3, but he's got more of an all-around game. As we've said, Pickett's just not been having the start to the year that you'd like to see him have. And Bamba, on the other hand, I would say is playing phenomenally. Damn near 16, 5, and 6. A little turnover prone, but the 1.8 steals per game is what I really love about his game. He's really impacting the ball, and that's what we need out of our starting point guard. Next, we have this win against Phoenix. Very close one. Brian Knight leads us in scoring again. I mean, just a dominant player. Cam Thomas has been playing great. Bamba had a great game here. Another inefficient one for Pickett, but at least he's dishing out assists. He's rebounding. Got a block in this one, not turning it over. Claxton had 5 turnovers. I get the 14 and 14 on an efficient 7 and 11, but how does Claxton have 5 turnovers? Funny Ben Simmons stat line, too. No points on 0 of 3 shooting, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, and 0 for 4 from the free throw line. This looked like a pretty brutal slugfest, too. A more mediocre 19 free throw attempts, but we only made 9 of them. Just absolutely bizarre there. So Phoenix signs Lonzo Ball. I mean, that's a great pickup for them. Bradley Beal, 2 of 12, and Devin Booker, 5 of 15, is ultimately what contributes to our 4-point victory here. And Kevin Durant, despite 5 stocks, 3 assists, no turnovers, 37 on very efficient shooting, it's just not enough. Finally, this game against the Raptors, I mean, I knew we were going to have to see a big game from Bamba for those averages to make sense, but 26, 6, 4, 4 on very efficient shooting. Didn't miss a 3, didn't miss a free throw. Cam Thomas, another very efficient night, another great night for Brian Knight. Zaire had an okay game. Pickett, again, doing a lot in the box score, but yeah, the efficiency has got to be better from him. A lot of games in this November slate that I'm thinking about. The one that I'm drawn to the most is this game against the Magic, and going up against Russell Frazier. He's almost averaging 20 points through the first 2 weeks of the year, and he's doing it pretty efficiently. Not a perfect player by any means, but Paolo, oh my goodness, he is having an insane start to the year, and Jared Allen is fitting in perfectly, and you really like to see this team, although they aren't having an insane start to the year. Are they really? They've only played 3 games in the first 2 weeks? How is that even possible? Whatever. So we're thinking about the Magic. The Hornets are another team that could potentially, be our matchup. Jonte Wright. Oh my God. I mean, we got to go look at the rookie leaderboard. Right now, Brian Knight leads all rookies in points per game, and he's doing it off the bench, as is Jonte Wright, so another very good bench scorer. We've got Russell Frazier up here, and then Caden Banks, not having a great efficiency-wise start to the year, but him and Bamba are actually playing very similarly when you really look at the numbers. And Banks is the starter, which is what's really odd about it. He must not be commanding as many touches with Wemby, but yeah, you would have definitely expected a better start from him. Kenny Foster, the Kevin Durant hybrid, is having a rough start to the year efficiency-wise, so you don't want to buy in too much to the first 2 weeks of the year, but it's just interesting to see kind of how things are developing around the league. You can definitely see the emergence of some of the top players. Even though this guy was picked 8, this guy was picked at 18, they're already immediate contributors. But yeah, we'll take a look at all of these different matchups in the next episode, and we'll make our decision there. But yeah, there's not a lot else to say here. Thank you so much for watching. I really am happy that everyone is enjoying this series, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.